Right, let us continue with this the mock paper for science section B. Question 31. Look at these two pictures, a train and a caterpillar. Both of them can move, okay, and they can be classified this way: things, living things, non-living things. The train will be under non-living things, caterpillar, living things. Next. Now, Dylan said that both the train and the caterpillar are living things as they can move, right? Both of them can move. So, do you agree? Of course, we need to write down here, no, I don't agree, and give a reason to support your answer. Now, the way of answering is that yes, both can move, but the caterpillar can move by itself, but the train cannot move by itself. Next, at which stage of the life cycle of a butterfly is the caterpillar? The larval stage or at stage 2? Now over here, there are some containers A, B, C, D. You can watch this amount of water. These two are 5 ml, these two, this is 10 and this is 15. Alright, so which two containers should she use if she wants to find out whether the amount of water will affect the growth? So when we're talking about the amount of water, then other things must be the same except for water. All right. Why A and C? Look, A, the amount of water. This is 5. This is 10. Right. Other things, other conditions remain the same. Air, presence of air, presence of sunlight, presence of air, presence of sunlight. Okay. Now next. Which of the two containers should be used if she wants to find out whether sunlight will affect germination? Now this means that one container must have sunlight and the other do not have sunlight, and the other condition must be the same. Okay, now A and B, they were chosen because A, the amount of water, A is 5 ml, B is 5 ml. Now we're talking about sunlight, alright? So A and B are same 5, presence of air 5, and one of them has sunlight and one of them does not have sunlight. Okay, so container A and B are used to find out whether sunlight will affect germination. Okay, now probably to explain further, for question A and question B, it simply means this way. Water, to test whether the amount of water should affect, it will be like this. Okay, this got to be smaller amount, and this one here, this has more. Okay, but other condition must be the same. All right, do not move them. Equal amount of sunlight, equal amount of the presence of air. Okay, now for this here, to test, okay, to find out whether sunlight will affect germination, all you need to do is one of them with sunlight, one of them without sunlight, okay, without the presence of sunlight, but the water has got to be the same, okay, and the air has got to be the same. Okay, now usually most of these experiments are repeated. It's just to ensure reliability of the results. Okay, we do not want to have some of the results maybe way off one time. For example, maybe the plant did not germinate. Probably the water has too much acid content, which you do not know if you just do it one time, and there's no germination. So you need to really test on the same type of water and ensure that they are plain and normal water. Test a few times, and just to say the results are about the same. All right, so the reliability of the results. Let's carry on next. A, B. A are chicken and moth, B mosquito and frog. Well, okay, so A and B, based on their life cycle, one of them they lay eggs on land. These are the one lay eggs on land, and this one in water. Okay, quite straightforward, but some we may be confused by saying that this is a 3-stage and this is 4-stage without looking at the frog. All right, okay. Another group of animals that can be classified under group B, it means under group B here, okay, lay eggs in the water. Fish, all right, fish they will fit in very nicely. Next, Tiara left a piece of bread on the table for a week and observed that there are many patches of little black and gray spots. Obviously, these are moles. And what are 4 conditions that needed for these mole to grow? Okay, now the basic one: air, food, and water. Water basically, sometimes you need not pour water in that area, but if the air is filled with water, like moisture, all right, it is sufficient. It is enough water for the mole to grow, right? Of course, air, the presence of oxygen; food, something to feed on, right? Okay, if the spores of the organism, the mole in this case, lands on the bread, and the bread will be the food source for the mole. Okay, warm over here, I put warm is generally accepted as a word. In fact, actually, it refers to the right temperature, right? Maybe too cold, the spores may not grow, because probably they will be inhibited, right? They stop the growth, but they may not die, right? If it's too hot, probably, definitely, some may just die off. Some may be protected and not, if they are not too hot. So just right, everything will go right. Next. Okay, labeling of this should be easy for you now. The flowers may not be very clear, but if you take a look at this, they are definitely not fruits and stem and so on. Now, which part of the above plant above must be above, do not refer to anything else. Like some of you put the answer as fruits, right? Over here we don't see fruits. Okay, so refer to the part. The part is flower. Now these are the one. Take a look. Self-explanatory. Next. This experiment, Zen conducted the experiment showing below. He placed 2 similar mice. Okay, similar so that it will be a fair assessment, right? Similar, you cannot have one white mice, one black mice, or one big and one small. Okay, or different species, right? Okay, then the I can see straight away what they're testing is. In this case, right, this one has holes for air to go in, and this one totally covered without hole. It means there will not the air will somehow be run off. There will not be enough air for this this particular mouse to live. Okay, so this one, not enough air. It's sufficient air. There's food and water. There's only food and water over here. Okay, so he sealed tank A with a cover with holes and tank B a cover without holes. Next, what was Zen trying to find at the experiment? So everything the same except for the air. So Zen is trying to find out if living things need air to survive. Okay, the purpose is air for survival, not air for maybe blowing balloons or so, but air for survival. Okay, that's something you need to write down. And if Zen wants to find out the mouse needs to feed to survive, what must he do to the above experiment? Now this time we are talking about food. Okay, we are talking about food. So let's take a look here. So if you talk about food, one tank must have food and the other tank need not have any food, just to test whether food is needed for survival, okay, for living things. So the other two, the air and water, must be the same, right? You must ensure that there is holes for air and there is hole for air, and supply them with water. Okay, this is what you need to understand. So how do you answer your questions? Right, make some holes on tank B. Okay, air coming in, and this part you make some hole so that there's fair presence of air. All right, so and at the same time take away the food from tank B. Can you see? Take away the food from tank B. Let's say I take away the food from here, I'll be left with air and water. But for this case, air, water, and food. So we can actually test whether food is needed for survival. Okay, name a variable that Zen should keep constant for the experiment conducted in B. I put the amount of water. Got to be careful. You just can't say you supply water, yes, but the amount of water, for example, 10 milligrams, or not 10 milligrams, too little. Okay, let's say like maybe 20 milliliters of water, then 20 milliliters of water here. All right, you can't really put here maybe 1 milliliter and here nothing at all. The mice, who knows, right, could die not because of not having food but not having water. So these two, the amount of the water given to both of them must be the same. Over here, plant, you can see this cripple. This plant is just climbing on the tree trunk. Okay, even its roots are popping up. Right, the roots are here. This is a complete plant itself. The other tree trunk is another plant. Okay, this is a money plant. Now, one of the plants has weak stem, while the other plants have woody stem. Fill in the box below on the group heading with weak stem or strong stems. Right, obviously the tree strong stem, the money plant weak stem. And here, why does the money plant climb onto the trunk, the tree, in order to survive well? Okay, first, to survive well, it needs support. Okay, it cannot fall off or maybe grow on the ground and be trampled on by other animals or people. Okay, but at the same time, getting support, it will also must reach out for sunlight. Okay, it must reach out for sunlight. Next. Okay, now mushroom, ferns. Mushroom are fungi, okay, in general. Ferns, remember, is non-flowering plant. Some of you just forgotten how to classify this. Okay, non-flowering plant or just plant, comparing the same level. This is fungi, this is plant. Okay, so fungi and plant. Right, if you put non-flowering plants, may not be very suitable, right, because you're comparing the same level as this fungi. So if you put non-flowering plant, then in this case you must put some sort of what about the fungi? Poisonous fungi, non-poisonous fungi. Okay, so if you put at this level, the higher level fungi, this is classified as plants. All right, just that would do. Now the similarity, they both produce by spores, and these are the one, false, true, false, false. Now take a look at this. A seed contains a supply of stored food within its seed coat. Within the seed coat are the seed leaves or the cotyledon. Okay, supplying the material, the food for germination. All right, for the seed to turn into a seedling. Okay, obviously this is false. Not all produced by seeds. This one, the shoot appears first, is totally wrong. It is the root that emerges out first. A seed needs sunlight to germinate is not correct. All right, even in darkness, it will just germinate. All right. Over here, adult and a life cycle, 3 stage. Over here, a plant. This is a chicken, adult chicken, and this is adult plant. The whole life cycle here. This starts from an egg. This with a seed. Right. The similarity, both have a 3-stage life cycle. The difference between them, one of them starts from an egg, and while the other, the plants with a seed. 42, the bar graph, okay, shows the number of days. Okay, H, insect, all right, there are 2 insects, right? G and H spent at each stage of the life cycle. Obviously, these 2 are different insects because every species, right, they have different timing in their life cycle, even in the stages. For example, this 5, this is shorter, 3, this is 24, really long, okay, and so on. Okay, the next thing will be good is you place the numbers, right, so you won't go wrong. You place the number accurately. If these numbers are not properly placed, for example, okay, you don't put 24, you put 20, then your calculation may not be right. Okay, right, usually for science, do not be so worried, because we are talking about more or less, but we may not ask you questions like how much more, by how many days, how many seconds more, right? It's just that whichever having more or less, and what are the reasons. Okay, now both insects have 4 stages in the life cycle. True, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this insect G takes longer time to reach adult stage to compare insect H. Now why I place this way, it's good to put the timing here, the days, and the days, number of days. Okay, it says that G takes a longer time. If you plus this together, this is smaller and this is bigger, right? So it's false. Now, to tell whether which one lays the egg on land and water, the data above here just simply cannot tell. It just tells the time. You can see the data tells the time, but it does not tell like how healthy it is, how well it grows, how much molecule of nutrients it has, and so on. That one is just too complicating. All right, this is straight away number of days and the stages. Okay, so we just cannot tell from the graph, right? And this easy. A here, first, second is this without the legs. Okay, third comes out with the leg, then the tail getting shorter, and the adult here. Okay, place it as DCB in sequence. Now, suggest the reason why frogs need to lay many eggs at one time. Okay, the reason is simply very simple. The species, they know that it is difficult, all right, and it's not possible for an adult frog or parent frog to look after their children, right? Some may be drifted away, some may be eaten by animals, so some may not survive. Okay, and it is also in general to have many, so that some may not survive but many more could survive, right? It is just to ensure more may turn into adults and continue its life cycle. All right, not necessarily into tadpoles, because tadpoles can also be eaten, right, by other bigger animals in the water. Now, stage D of the frog lives in water, and stage E lives on land. Let's take a look. Stage E on land, okay, and this in the water, right? Look at the physical features. This obviously is meant for land, and of course they can be in water, and this is just totally in water. Okay, the question asked is why it is so beneficial. It means what's so good about the frog being able to leave the water and go into the land and stay. All right, one of the better reasons, probably the best reason, is that if the parents leave that area, they will not compete for food with the young, right? The young could be eating certain things and similar to the adult frog, okay? Or it could be overcrowding. Okay, it could be overcrowding, like too many tadpoles inside, and let's say the adult stays inside, and they may not have enough space, right? So it's good for the adult to leave and find other types of food, okay, have different environment away from the young. All right, it's probably enough space for the young to grow. Okay, now last, state the similarity between fish and the tadpole, where they breathe. Okay, where they breathe, right? Not similarity, they both stay in water and so on. Read this part, right? Some of you missed out this part. So both breathe through their gills. Look at the diagram. The seed coat is outside, the inside is the seed leaf, all right, the right inside, okay, all right, and the shoot and the root. Okay, which part of the plant grows first when germination occurs? The root, obviously, is the root. And which part, okay, will provide food for the seed when it germinates? Okay, part B, this one, B over here, the yellowish part, right? The last part, what is the function of part A? Part A is this, the hard shell. The shell is just to protect the seed. That is all. Okay, end of paper. Well, I hope you get further understanding from this. Just do your corrections with much thoughts. That means as you do your corrections, do not just copy the answer. Learn and remember certain facts, okay? Many facts will just carry you on for the next few years, even for life. All right? Thanks very much.